Cloverdale Colts to the desert, no longer wet. Coach Bain's got a plan, a fire in his eye. Gonna show these Yanks how Canadians fly. Sun beating down, but our blood runs cold, chasing gold. Desert ice streams, yeah, we're chasing that gold. Across the border, stories to be told. Phoenix sun high, but our sticks are fast. Cloverdale Colts gonna make this feeling last. Cactus watching as we hit the ring. American teams don't know what to think. Our skates are sharp, our passes are true. The pride of Cloverdale, the boys in blue. They got their heat, their fancy plays, but we got grit through all these days. From the great white north, the force untold, mining for metal, chasing gold. Desert ice dreams, yeah, we're chasing that gold. Across the border, stories to be told. Phoenix sun high, but our sticks are fast. Cloverdale Colts gonna make this feeling last. Desert ice dreams, yeah, we're chasing that gold. Across the border, stories to be told. Phoenix sun high, but our sticks are fast. Cloverdale Colts gonna make this feeling last.
It is day 3 of the Cactus Cup Tournament, and we have moved on to a new arena, the Ice Den. New arena, but not a new opponent, as the Colts will be playing their first elimination playoff game in the quarterfinals of this tournament against a team they've already played earlier in the round robin, the West Dundee Leaf Prospects. So this is a team they beat 1-0 in the round robin, eked out a victory. That was a game that they outshot their opponents by a wide margin, and the Leafs goaltender stood on his head and kept their team in the game. So we'll see if that holds form here today in this game in the quarterfinals. Colts are going to try to have to do this without a couple players that they've had for the rest of the tournament. Lennon Cameron out of the game with a shoulder injury suffered last game, and Mac Fiander, the captain, will also be sitting this game out due to a 1-game suspension due to a game misconduct penalty at the end of the previous game. As for the rest of the lineup, Logan will be getting the start in net. He also started against this team, his only other start in the tournament, and that was, as we said, a 1-0 shutout victory. The winner of this game will advance to the semifinal later in this evening, and of course the winner of that will go on to play in the final the following day on day 4 of the tournament. There is no bronze medal game, so at this point, if you lose, you are out of the tournament. We are once again relying on the live barn cameras. As you can see, the only viewing area in this arena is down at the far end next to that red wall behind the Leafs goaltender. So no good sight lines for our own cameras. We'll be using the live barn feed, which as you can see is a little dark in this arena, but we will make do. And with that, let's head to the first period. And it's going to be a quick start for the Colts. Nathan lugging the puck out of his own zone, going to go down the left side. He's going to ring that around behind the net. No Leaf player is going to come anywhere close to it. It's going to ring all the way around to Knox on the other side, bumps it down to Libby, pulls it to the backhand, back to Knox, throws it towards the net, and a beautiful tip there by Noah up past the goaltender and into the top corner. It took the Colts all the way to midpoint of the third period to get their first and only goal against the Leaf prospects when they play them in the round robin, but they're going to get this goal early, and that should help with their confidence levels against this goaltender. Colts keep coming, pushing the puck down into the offensive zone, in behind the defenders. Tyler trying to get free, but he gets hooked up before he can get a shot off, and that's going to send a Leafs player to the penalty box. 2 minutes for hooking and give the Colts a power play to try to extend their lead. And the Colts are going to get a chance off the rush. Jackson Mom taking it on the right side. He can see Tyler coming late. He holds up, waits for him, and then throws it across. And Tyler is at a bad angle. Unfortunately, he wasn't a little closer to the middle of the ice when he picked that puck up. Here's Leo now with the puck behind the net. He slides it out front to Seth, who gets a good shot off down low, but it's kicked out by the Leafs goaltender. Power play is now over, but the chances are this player is going to try to skate up from the corner and get hooked and then slashed right there as Nathan puts a screenshot through, and eventually the Leafs are going to pick the puck up and the penalty is going to be called, and that player can continue onwards towards the penalty box to serve his 2 minutes for slashing. And on this power play here, you see Noah with the puck. He gives it to Leo, who's going to put it out to Bryson, who barely keeps that onside. Then he goes down the left side. He sees he's got a screen in front. He throws that towards the net. Not very hard, but hard enough that Mitchell does a little drag tip that brings it back in line with the goal, and it slips in past the right side post. And a power play goal here by the Colts has stretched them into a 2-0 lead, a lead they didn't have the first time they played this Leafs team. And the Leafs are going to continue to play with fire as their penalty triples continue. Here's Jackson Anderson chipping the puck past that player, and as he tries to retrieve it at center ice, the player sticks the stick out and trips him up, sends him sliding into the referee's circle. 2 minutes for tripping to the prospects. As the period is winding down, the Colts are going to go on the power play again and look to give themselves a 3-0 lead. On this power play, we've seen Bryson with the assist earlier, and he's going to get this puck over on the left side. He's got a screen, he's got some traffic there, but no Colts players, just Leafs, and eventually the Leafs goaltender tracks it down, makes a save, and sends us to the second period with a 2-0 lead for the Colts. But the Leafs are going to send the Colts to the power play yet again, this time with a little assistance from Arjun, it looks like. Looks like maybe he chicken-winged that player's stick there, forcing him to haul him down. But either way, it's going to be 2 minutes for hooking and yet another power play here for the Colts. And once again, it's going to be a point shot here by Bryson after he barely keeps it in that creates this chance. Rebounds there. Noah puts it on net. Another rebound that Mitchell gets and slides it into the yawning cage. So great work in front of the net there by Noah and Mitchell to get 2 cracks at the rebound. And we have ourselves a 3-0 lead for the Colts after a second power play goal for Mitchell, both of which were right in front of the net. Leafs are trying desperately to get back in this one, and we're going to see their first foray into the offensive zone here in this highlight package. And it's going to be with the puck in behind the net. Nathan's tied up with the Leafs player back there, sticks tangled up with each other, and you see the referee's arm go into the air. So we're finally going to see a Colts penalty. It's going to be Nathan to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. The Leafs don't get any traction on that power play, and after it's over, here's a 2-on-1. Arjun down the right side. He's got Tyler with him. He elects to shoot, but he fans on it. Recovers the puck behind the net, throws it out front to Jackson Anderson, and it skips just out of the range of his stick. And the Leafs are going to come back the other way, looking to go wide around West, but he sticks with it and sticks the stick out there, and Logan makes a glove save to shut that play down. Now here's a stretch play by Knox, throwing that up to Seth. He's 2-on-1. He's got Leo with him, so he's going to slide it across to Leo. Tries to go to the backhand, but the goalie gets across, and then he makes another save off Seth, who picked up the rebound and threw it towards the net on the backhand. Leafs are going to get some help for a dangerous chance here as Orson tries to get that back to Nathan, and it's going to get picked up by this Leafs player. He's forced to go wide and put a shot from a bad angle. Here's Tyler lugging the puck through the neutral zone again. 2-on-2 with Arjun. He's going to crisscross and then pass it over to Arjun. A nice little play, but the goalie read it well and slid all the way out of the net. to take away the angle from margin there. Here come the Leafs, 3-on-2. Two good back checkers, though, to turn it into a 3-on-4. And as Nathan goes against the wall, that Leafs player is going to catch him high from behind. That's going to be one penalty. But now Jackson Anderson is chasing the puck along the wall down low, and he gets engaged with the Leafs player there and knocks him down. So there's going to be two penalties on the play. The initial call on the Leafs player for tripping, it appears, and then the penalty on Jackson Anderson for roughing after the initial penalty had happened. And that's going to be 5-on-5 hockey, and we go to the third, still 3-0. The Leafs are going to get their chance to get back in this game early in the third period. Here's Orson battling along the wall for the puck. He's tangled up with that Leafs player, and the referee is going to deem that to be enough to be a hooking penalty. So the Leafs to the power play with about 14 minutes left. Minute into this power play, the puck goes to the point. The player misplays it, but he keeps it in over on the right side, throws it towards the net, and the rebound is laying there, and Nathan can't quite get the player until after it's in the net, knocking him down post-goal, and the Leafs are on the board with the power play goal. Here's 3-1. And they're looking for more. Here's a point shot through that Logan makes a save on. Rebound right there, and he makes another save, directs that off harmlessly to the corner. Colts, though, looking to go play back in the other end, and there's a nice poke by Jackson Davis to send the puck down the other way. He's got a partial breakaway, tries to take it towards the net. Backhand shot that's saved, but as he's going towards the net, he gets tripped up. So it's another penalty for the Leafs. Going to get called holding by the referee, and that's going to send the Colts to the power play with time winding down in this game. They're going to have it on the right side. Jackson Mumm throws it over to Jackson Davis, who throws it to the front, and the rebound's right there for Jackson Anderson to bang home on the backhand. And I believe for the first time this season, we have a triple Jackson goal. Jackson Anderson from Jackson Davis and Jackson Mumm. All the Jacksons in on this scoring, and it's a fitting way to end this game as a 4-1 victory for the Colts. And they'll be heading off to the semifinal later that night against a team from Northern Colorado. But before we get to that, let's have a look at the stats for this game. Mitchell with 2 power play goals, Noah a strong game, goal and assist, and Bryson with those 2 power play assists on the point. And look at Logan there, just 1 goal against here in the tournament in the 2 games against this Leaf squad. So about 8 hours or so later in the day, we're going to see the Colts in the semifinal against the team from Northern Colorado. And as we await the team's arrival on the ice surface for the warm-up, we see Joe in the penalty box chatting up the referees and looking to line up some favorable calls in the Colts' favor here in this game. This Northern Colorado team played the Mission Red team in the quarterfinals. That's the team that the Colts beat 3-1 in Game 3 of the round robin. So a bit of a bigger victory for the Northern Colorado team. So this should be a stiff test for the Colts here today in the semifinal. The Colts lineup, they will be adding Mack back to the lineup, finished serving his 1-game suspension. Linden remains out with the shoulder injury, and Sahaj will get the start. And with that, let's head to the first period. We start off deep in the Colts zone, battle along the wall. It's going to get won by the Colts and then pushed out here to Jackson Mumm. He's going to drive down wide on the right side, put a little move on that defender, then move in, and just as he's about to shoot, the other defender gets a stick in and deflects it into the stomach of the Colorado goaltender. Colorado now. Nice little breakout from their own zone. That's read well by Knox, and he turns it back the other way, but then he gets absolutely pummeled into the wall by number 17 there. A nice read by Knox, but certainly not the end result he was looking for. Here's a draw in the neutral zone. Libby's going to get his stick tangled up with the left winger there, give him a little bit of a shot, not much, but then he's going to come back and trip that player up as he's on the forecheck, and he's lucky to get away with that one there. That easily could have been a penalty against the Colts. And there's a shot from the high slot that Sahaj turns aside. Colorado is going to take advantage of a poor change here by the Colts. A defenseman and 2 forwards, and that's going to create this chance down the left side. Trying to go high glove, but Sahaj has got it off the tip of his glove and wide. This Colorado team certainly considerably faster than any team the Colts have played thus far. And there's a nice little play out front to that player all alone, but Sahaj is there to make the save, and then the net comes off to get the Colts a whistle. Now watch Richard as he goes to the net front. That Colorado player is going to give him a cross check from in the back from behind, knocking him down. Then he's looking for that rebound off the point shot, but the Colorado team gets it, and that's going to cause the whistle to blow so that the player can go to the box. 2 minutes for cross checking, and the Colts are now on the power play. Tyler's going to end up with the puck off the hold at the line, and he's going to be patient until he sees Jackson Davis coming down the other side, so he whips it across, but the goalie has plenty of time to come across and make the save. Power play unsuccessful, and now here comes Mac, and he's going to try and hit that Colorado player, but instead, poor Knox takes his second big hit of the game. He's getting it from both teams in this one. Period winding down, Colorado in control, and Orson in front gives that player a shove from behind, similar to what happened to Richard at the other end, but Colts get away with it. And then that player on the right side walks in and gets a good shot, but a nice save by Sahaj, and we go scoreless to the second. Turnover at center, 3-on-2 for the Northern Colorado team, coming down, throwing it towards the middle. That player's got on the backhand, and then he tries to throw it on front with a chip shot, and Nathan uses his hand to kind of direct that towards the corner. Here's Seth putting pressure on the point, and he's going to create a turnover. He's going to try to get away. Puck's away from him, and that other player's going to come across and bury him. Then Leo picks it up, and it walks in and gets a great scoring chance. But I agree with the crowd there that had a good chance to be an interference penalty, as the puck was well behind Seth when he got hit. But instead, it's going to be the Colts that take a penalty. There you see Mac battling for the puck. That seemed like a pretty innocuous hooking, but the referee is going to have their arm in the air after ignoring that hit at the other end. They're going to call this instead, and it's going to be the Colorado team to the power play. Here they are working it around in the Colts zone. It's going to end up out at the top of the point here eventually, and as that player goes to shoot, there's a sliding Mitchell across, and he catches that off the inside of the foot. That hurts, but it's a block shot, helping out the Colts here on the penalty kill. And this time they're going to try the left side. Shot goes through, rebound comes out, and the shot is off of Bryson with another block, 2 blocks on that penalty kill, and you can see that one hurt him too as it caught him up high in the chest area. Northern Colorado trying to retrieve the puck behind their own net. They're in trouble, falling down, but somehow still coming out of it with the puck, and so here they come back the other way, nearing the end of this power play. Down the right side, throwing across, and somehow that player one times it wide, and the Colts dodge a bullet there and successfully kill the penalty. Colorado continuing to press, though. Here they are, working down low, throwing that puck up front. It's off Bryson's foot to that player who shoots, and a great glove save, and then another block in front. So this game remains scoreless late in the second period. Here's a draw in the offensive zone. Watch as this player comes in on Bryson. He's going to catch him in the stick and rather than the body, and it's going to break it. He's going to violently throw the stick remnants, and then he's going to actually go for a change rather than backing up and playing defense, and that's going to create this goal that's going to get shot up over Sahaj's glove, and it looked like maybe Richard on the back check there reached in and might have just tipped it at the last second to send it over the glove of Sahaj, and this game has its first goal. It's 1-0 for Colorado. Colorado looks like they have the advantage off a Colts change, but instead it's going to get turned over at center. They mishandle it there, and then Leo's going to pick it up. He's going to walk in all alone from the blue line, just him. He shoots, and it's saved on the glove side and covered up by the Colorado goalie. Colorado looking to extend the lead. Have the puck down low, walking in with a player in front. Throw it to him. He's on the backhand, and he gets a good shot off there, but a kick saved by Sahaj. And then the wraparound attempt looked like there was empty net there to tuck it into, but Sahaj lunges over with the leg and gets it and sends us to the third period. Colts trailing by 1. Colorado nicely holds the puck here in the line. They're going to move around Mitchell, and then the shot, and a big save there again from Sahaj and covering it up. Play continuing in the Colts zone. Battle along the wall. Jackson Anderson going down, and that puck is thrown in front, and Nathan tries to skate it out and runs into the player, and luckily that stays away from the crease. Here's Nathan bouncing a puck off the wall from his own zone. Jackson Mum reads it well, gets it in behind the defenders, and sweeps it on net. But it's another save from the Colorado goaltender. He's having a good game back there. Sahaj is answering him at the other end, though. Pass across, and another blocker save there from Sahaj, directed it off to the corner. Colts pressing, looking to tie. Jackson Mum ahead of the play a bit. Jackson Davis is going to turn it over, and then it's going to turn it into a 2-on-1. And he's going through, and he elects to shoot, and he gets blocked off to the corner, and Colorado skates it out. Now they're back down the other way, going down the right side, throwing it in front. That player throws it on that. Rebound goes out past the Colorado player. So late in the game, the Colts are going to take their timeout. Less than 40 seconds left in this game. Still just 1-0. Colts are going to be resting up here and plotting for a way that they can try to tie this game up here in the waning seconds. And they are going to get a glorious chance to tie this up as the time ticks away. Nathan throws that puck through. It goes to the corner. There's Seth in there battling for it. A bunch of other Colts as well. And it's going to eventually end up down low and then thrown out front. And there's Nathan sneaking in from the point, and he gets a good wood on that shot through. But it's off the goaltender and harmlessly out. See, it just went past Noah as well in front. But a golden chance there by the Colts at the end of that game to try and tie it, but it doesn't go in, and they're going to lose this semifinal game 1-0. So the team clearly disappointed that they won't be going through to the finals in this tournament, losing only one game here in the semis and losing it only by 1 goal, and that goal happening on a very unlucky broken stick play. So this is a game that could have gone either way. Colts also having 3 breakaways in this game. There you see the fans being appreciative of the effort that the Colts put out here today. It just didn't bounce their way. And so they are now out of this tournament and will not be playing in tomorrow's final. We'll have a quick look at the stats for this game. Of course, not much to see given that the Colts were shut out. But look at that excellent outing from Sahaj. 1 goal on 28 shots. We'll see what these 2 games do to the overall stats now. Jackson Mum and Jackson Anderson remaining at the top of the table, tied with 33 points. Seth, Tyler, and Arjun all with 13 goals as well. And there you see Nathan really making a gap between him and the rest of the team in plus-minus. So that's the end of the tournament. Colts can't rest for long, though. They have to head home, play 5 more games at the end of the season, and prepare for the playoffs. And we'll see you then.